Okay, I'd like to call to order the February 1st, 2017 meeting of the Township of Lopatcong's Town Council. First thing I'll ask is for I have to read the notice first. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. A moment of prayer and silence, please. Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, Beth.
Councilman Belcaro.
Here.
Councilman Polito.
Here.
Councilman Wright.
Here.
Council President Pryor.
Here.
Mayor Michelle.
Here. Take a motion to come out of executive session. I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Trina?
Council is in executive session for approximately 30 minutes. The topics of discussion are the three items listed on your agenda: contractual versus regarding the compensation plan, litigation, affordable housing, Larkin. 3, contractual, Sycamore Landing affordable housing agreement and deed restriction. Also discussed was contractual regarding EMS expenses. The minutes from executive session will be available at such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Council did not conclude its executive session, and it intends to go back in at the end of the meeting to further discuss number 2 regarding affordable housing, Larkin. They do expect action to be taken. So at the end of the meeting, we're going to go back into executive probably for about 30 minutes. We do expect to take action when we're done, so if anyone wants to stick around at the end, they can go out in the hall and wait, and we bring you back in. That's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Well, tonight we have the pleasant duty of swearing in some members of our fire department. Beth, are you going to attend to that swearing in?
Sure.
Okay. Should we call it?
Did you want to call them?
Will the members please come forth? You want to come up here by this table?
That's Brandon Stiers, Assistant Chief of Station 1, Tim Weiss, Assistant Chief Station 2, Brad Fagan, Captain Station 1, Terry Waller, Captain Station 2, Louis Ford, Lieutenant Station 1, and that's marked with your names on it, so select the right one. Stephen Hopkins, Lieutenant Station 2, Jared Brisson, Lieutenant Station 2, and Dave Rodman, Lieutenant Station 2. Anybody have their oath? Oh, here, I have one for you. Right next to one, just in case. All right, so everybody has to raise their right hand. And you'll repeat after me. I, and say your name. All together. Say your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of,
all the duties of the office of chief,
okay, state whatever you're doing, according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Sign down the bottom on the right-hand side and put your address. There's pens on that table, and then you can hand your papers to me. Okay. Just mark one.
Thank you.
Thank you. A couple more, okay, right there, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, on behalf of the council, we give you another thank you for keeping us all safe, and we appreciate your service to the community, so thank you again.
I second that.
Oh, yeah. Mayor, do you want to let everyone know, if anyone just came for that and you'd like to leave, now's your chance.
Uh-oh.
Not that little. At least they're on.
Is it any?
Like a big
All right, the next item of business is a proclamation concerning Planning Board Chairman Gary Van Vliet, who after many, many years of service on the Planning Board, has retired from that position. And who's reading the proclamation?
Gary.
Okay. Yeah, Gary, come up, please.
We appreciate all our volunteers, but there's certain people whose service just rises to a level that we have to do something a little special. Most jobs, after 20 years, you get a pension, here you get a plaque. I'm sorry. That's all we can do. Gary served 20 years and how many as chairman?
15.
15, and it was through some very active and difficult times, so we appreciate his service. And proclamation reads as follows. Whereas, as our community looks back over many years, a few individuals stand out for their contributions, and one of those citizens who is a true leader in our community is Gary Van Vliet. And whereas in 1996, Gary Van Vliet was appointed to serve on the Lopatcong Township Planning Board, he was elected by his fellow board members to serve as chairman in 2003, and continued to serve as chairman until he retired from the board in December of 2016. And whereas the Township of Lopatcong desires to publicly recognize Gary Van Vliet and pay tribute to this very special member of our community for his many years of distinguished service, now therefore be it resolved that the council and citizens of the Township of Lopatcong, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, wish to express its great appreciation to Gary Van Vliet for meritorious service, loyalty, and dedication. Thank you, Gary.
I certainly would like to thank the council for this great honor. I'd also like to be remiss if I didn't thank all the members that I served with, had the privilege of serving with on the planning board for all these years. We had a good time. And I'd especially like to thank Beth, who, as our planning board secretary, she was invaluable to me and the community and what she did with all the applications coming in and the correspondence and keeping me abreast of a lot of the things. And I would be very remiss if I didn't thank my wife, who all the years she put up with me, times out, and the late nights, the afternoons and stuff like that. So again, I thank you and I thank the citizens of the Township of Lopatcong. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary.
I just want to thank you personally for the service you did for 20 years. And I want to say this, that the knowledge, the thorough knowledge that you take with you, it's going to be hard to replace. You're going to miss that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you again.
Thanks, yeah.
Well, 20 years. Okay, we want to go into a public comment period for agenda items only, so I'll take a motion to do that. Motion to go into public comment?
Motion.
Okay, I have to hear it.
I'll second.
Okay.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're in We're in open session, agenda items only.
Olszewski, Highlands Way. Mr. Mayor, on the new business number 2, since you guys are expending money on that, I believe, right? I would like to know, thought process, why we don't need a police commissioner anymore. What is the benefit to the taxpayer for expending the money on a new ordinance? What are we getting out of it?
I didn't, you have to ask.
How about you ask them? I just,
Oh,
I don't understand one word he said. What did he say?
what?
Get to any of that.
I think he asked why, we're spending money to eliminate the position of police commissioner and make an ordinance to do
We
that.
spent about 2 cents because we're crossing out a word in the old ordinance and putting in a word in the new ordinance, so it didn't cost anything.
I think you have to advertise it and stuff, but it's not a big cost.
So we don't use it. We haven't appointed anybody to that position in many years, and I'll explain it when we get there. Thank you.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
I see here that the recommendation for the projects with Rutgers Cooperative Extension Program is on here, which is great. I'm excited to see that. I don't know if you want me to wait and we can talk about it when you bring it up on the agenda.
No, we can talk about it now.
You want
If you
to?
want.
Okay, great.
Then we don't have to cover it later?
I mean, I know that I wanted to, be a part of the conversation. I can wait, and whatever works for you.
Well,
Okay, so we'll do it later. As well, I just wanted to make sure I had the chance to talk, so if I can talk later.
Sir?
My name is John Betts, and I just wanted a clarification of this. Maybe you may be talking about it anyway, but new business, number 1, resolution authorizing Verizon Enhanced Network through the rights of way in Lopatcong Township. Does anybody know what kind of enhancement that's going to be, or are you going to talk about it at all?
I can explain that when we get to it.
When you get to it, okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Hearing none, seeing none. I ask for a motion to go out of public comment. Second? Okay, all in favor? Aye. All right, moving into old business. Item 1, approved minutes from the executive session and regular session for the January 4th and special meeting of January 18th, 2017.
I had 2 comments before we entertain the motion.
Sure.
Back on the reorganization minutes, I didn't print the whole thing, but on page 16, there was a roll call vote for council president, and it says ayes, Bill Carroll, Lito, etc. And then it says all noted for Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. All voted.
All voted. I think the ayes are there. I don't know if we really need that.
Okay.
And on page 17, part about the council liaisons, we had a roll call vote, and it says the same thing, all noted for Joe. I think we can just strike that.
Sure.
And on page 21, council president prior, well, you say presidents, be a singular there.
Yeah.
It says, there is nothing in the charter that defines a CEO, comma, your position. It says as mayor, I think that should be is mayor.
Okay.
And then in the January 18th meeting, there's one point where you refer to me as council president engineer, which is kind of cool, but I don't think it's correct.
Yeah, I can take that.
Those are my comments.
Okay. Okay, we're still waiting for a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes with those corrections.
Go ahead, second. Second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilman Del Caro?
Yes.
Councilman Lito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Chairman Kay?
Yes. proclamation concerning the National School Choice Week. This was tabled from the January 4th meeting. I don't know why it was
You asked the
tabled.
table.
No, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's because other council members had comments on it. They wanted to look it up and take another, I think it was basically you, Joe.
All right, you want me to comment?
If, I want you to vote if it's going to be some lengthy thing.
No, we don't have to vote. It can be your proclamation if you want to do it. We don't have to vote. It could be the mayor's proclamation, but what I noted is, choice is a broad, complicated, and controversial subject. It includes scholarship tax credits, vouchers, charter schools, magnet schools, homeschooling, internet schooling, educational savings accounts, tax credit deductions for educational expenses. Probably a few more things. It has support and opposition. On the support side, it gives parents more control. And these are just the principal ones. It creates competition among schools for students. On the opposition, I guess the big one is it can take funding away from public schools. It opens up funding of religiously affiliated schools. There's opportunities for profiteering, and there's often a lack of accountability. And I'm not taking a side in either direction. I'm saying these are all things that are part of the discussion. This thing came up from an outfit in Florida, which is pro-school choice. Not everybody is for it. Our own school board did not approve this or issue this proclamation. And unless somebody came to us, the PTA or the school board or some other educational organization, I don't know why we would want to get in the middle of this. It's really not our charge to get involved in the choice debate.
And we'll drop it, we'll drop it.
Okay.
Number 3, resolution authorizing participation in the Gypsy Moth Control Program instituted by the State Agriculture Department. And this is for spraying for the gypsy moths?
Yeah, this is the first piece of business that we'll have to take care of is pass the resolution that we're going to move forward with it. And then there'll be a lot of other steps that we're going to have to take in order to complete the process.
Right. Okay. I thought at the last meeting we approved that. These are documents that the Department of Agriculture requires that you do, and that I put on file. So I'll be coming to you every month until we get done with this. With certain documents that have to be authorized. Well, since we already approved doing this, I guess the documents are just something that's part of that approval. They're in
So we have to get an agreement, for
Yeah.
instance.
All right, so we're just going to authorize the execution. Is that what you're doing? Okay. Okay. All right, motion to authorize the execution of the documents.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Recommendation for the projects in Lopatcong through Dr. Chris Abrupta of the Rutgers Cooperative Extension Program. I first found out about this when Juniper sent an email around in mid-December. I think Joe talked to the doctor. There are certain projects that would benefit Lopatcong. They're not big money things, but they help recharge the groundwater. If you want to talk about any details, I think they'll pay for it.
Jennifer, if you want to come up, we'll have a discussion.
Well, I'm glad for the opportunity to share in this conversation and in these projects. It's actually really exciting. You guys don't know a heck of a lot about what I do, but I work obviously running the program Lopatcong Creek Initiative, which is a part of the Delaware River Watershed Initiative overall. And that's a really big investment from the William Penn Foundation, $40 million and then some. And that's obviously to improve water quality in the Delaware River. And they're doing that by focusing on specific watersheds. So our watershed, the Lopatcong Creek watershed, which covers about 20 square miles in the area, is one of those watersheds. So recently, Rutgers, who's a partner of ours who I've done some work with over the years, got some additional funding from the William Penn Foundation. So I'm actually tasked with helping to assist all of the organizations that work with Dr. Abrupta in the Highlands region in finding those project locations where he can use some of those funds. So these projects are meant to help communities understand the impact of stormwater. They're used to control stormwater, reduce pollution. They're great educational tools, excellent for raising awareness. They can, depending on the projects that we select, there can be a lot of beautification benefits. And certainly, again, we're going to be effectively working to reduce pollution in the area, which is a tremendous benefit. So I'm really glad that Joe has had the opportunity to speak with Chris on several occasions. And, as far as I know, Chris is comfortable making this investment in Lopatcong at this time. And I'll be thrilled to, help in any ways that I can and promote the project, obviously, throughout the area. So if you guys have any questions, I know right now we're probably at the planning stage where we'd want to bring Chris in, talk about potential projects. I think he and Joe have worked out, ironing out, some finalized ideas. We can narrow those down, work out some plans. This will be the Rutgers team coming in, providing expert engineering plans and completing the project. So it will be a start to finish completed project. And from the conversations I believe Chris has had with Joe, we may be able to get more than one of those projects for Lopatcong. So I guess the only thing I want to compel everyone to understand is that this is an exciting opportunity. It's a rare opportunity. You don't always have people giving away free money, but we're very well positioned to take advantage of it. So I hope that we can do some good for the community together. I'm really looking forward to that. If you have any questions, please let me know. I want to add one more thing for you guys. I'm working on our promotional materials, or Rutgers is working on them right now. But one of the things that we're also doing is a training for municipal officials. So this is going to be open for all of you guys. It's going to be open for the planning board members, the environmental commission, any board members, any member of the community who wants to learn about how to meet the stormwater regulations that are put forth by the state of New Jersey and the Highlands Council. So that's going to be hosted by Phillipsburg. It's going to be at the Phillipsburg Library on March 6th. If the township needs to be named as a host in some way in order to get benefits toward our own stormwater permit, please let me know, because I can definitely arrange to make that happen as well. But that's another opportunity you guys probably don't want to miss, because they're not usually out here. Usually we got to travel pretty far out to get stuff like that. So March 6th, 6 to 8 p.m., but real promotional materials will come out soon. So that's it. Questions?
Well, hang in there for a bit.
Good.
Let me tell you why I reached out to Chris. I didn't know Chris personally, but I worked for his group quite a bit. Before I retired, we did 3 rather large parks in Camden. I was invited down there before I retired. I had lunch with this whole group. I did a lot of work with Jeremiah Bergstrom. He's his landscape architect when I was in Fanwood. They did a rain garden for the library, and I really just was there to observe, but we took that and we incorporated, they had a local stormwater ordinance, we incorporated into that. So I knew the group pretty well. And since I retired, my former firm's done probably 30 projects with them in the Camden area.
Yeah.
So, as a council member, I felt it was my responsibility to find out more about it. And I talked to Chris, and they were already pretty far down the road. They were evaluating 5 towns in the area, and we were one. And they identified, I guess it was 13 projects. And we had a discussion here, and I had a discussion with Chris again. And some of the projects we just eliminated off the top, either because of the size of the project or the fact.
Are you looking at the green infrastructure
Yeah.
feasibility study?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It was preliminary when we
Right.
talked about.
Right.
Architects Golf Club, that's a private entity, and we eliminated all the private entities.
Right.
Pervious pavement, what he told me, they're high cost projects he was talking about, that only makes sense if you have beat up pavement, replace it anyway, and they were talking about only paying the difference between ordinary
Okay.
pavement and special pavement. So with all that, we came down to municipal projects, and you eliminate the pervious pavement. So we had essentially bar retention or rain garden at the municipal building. We have 2 rain garden projects at the park. We had 2 rain gardens at the Strikers Firehouse. We had a cistern
Right.
at the Strikers.
The park is the
Firehouse.
only one that might, some portions of the park are outside of the watershed, so we're just gonna have to.
He said that's okay.
Okay.
He told me, he's still gonna look at all, okay. We had, a lengthy discussion, we tried to explore the whole thing. And then there were 2 cisterns at the Delaware Park Station. I talked to the fire chief, he said, he's in. If we get something out of it, he's in. So we talked about bundling all of those in one project. So borrowing from 3 sites, 4 sites, I guess, into one project. He said he thought that would be a very manageable and good demo project. I recognize through the funding there has to be a role for the Lopatcong Creek Initiative. He suggested that he worked with me on the implementation. There's an education element, and that you handle that one.
Right. Yes, I understand that. Like he explained to you, William Penn granted funding to Rutgers to complement the work of the DRWI partners. I am the DRWI partner in the area. So he is operating through me in this capacity. And if we were to go to one of those private entities, we would not do it through the township. There are other rain gardens. I've worked with Chris. There's one at Rath's Deli. So this is an option, and it was an offer that I was happy to make because I'm always trying to prove to you guys that we can work together and accomplish great things despite any differences that we might have that benefit the community. So that's why I extended that offer.
The problem, if I can interrupt you here, just so I don't forget, the problem with the private entities is he was actually looking for Public Works to participate with the backhoe and so on, and that becomes a problem as soon as we step on the private property.
No, so what I was trying to say there was I came to you and I made you the first offer in Lopatcong after I sealed my other deals. And then I said, and then if you guys had said, you don't know, thank you, we're not interested, I would have gone to the private entities and we would have worked directly with them. It wouldn't have involved the township. So I really did do this because I want good things to happen for the community. It's certainly not for personal gain. I am a part of the situation. There's no getting around me in this work with Rutgers. I need to be able to promote it for the DRWI. That's what our funders want to see from both Chris and I. So I promise that you'll find that I have a lot of leadership roles in my work because I'm quite good at what I do. And I assure you that that this will be smooth sailing. And if you're willing to work cooperatively with me, I promise I will do the same for you. And I think that we'll be able to prove our ability to work together.
That's where we are, and we have to vote on that tonight.
Yeah.
I can reach out to him tomorrow, so he's expecting a call back.
Exactly, and if you guys want to check out or look on the Lopatcong Creek Initiative Facebook page, because the last rain garden I built with Chris is over at Rath's Deli, and we actually got an innovation grant from the Environmental Leadership Program because it's the first rain garden of its kind in the country. It has a liner, it's really cool. The liner is there because, as you know, we've got a bit of a limestone issue in certain areas of this community. So it's really neat. We got an Environmental Achievement Award from AMJEC. So you can learn about that there and check that out. But whatever we decide to do when we sit down with Chris, I promise that it'll be a good plan. And that's why I wanted to talk to you and get a feeling for where you are, because I definitely want to choose cooperative partners for my projects.
Well, I took a couple conversations with him for me to figure out what was going on.
Good, I understand that. I appreciate that. I'm ready to roll if you guys are. I'm ready to serve. This is the work that I do. I'm happy to do it in Lopatcong.
Thank you, Jennifer.
We all good?
All right, so then we need to take a vote, I guess, at this point to
Proceed with
authorize Joe to proceed with dealing with Rutgers on this rain garden project. So, do I have a motion?
Make a motion on that.
Do I have a second? Second. That's an all in favor, right? It's no money. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next one is the resolution to change Robert Larson's appointment from alternate number 1 to full member on the zoning board of adjustment. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion. Oh, you made it, Will?
Lou made it.
I'll second it.
Okay, is there any discussion on that? Roll call, I guess.
Councilman Belcarra?
Yes.
Councilman Toledo?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Fire?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes. Resolution, we're going into new business, by the way. Resolution authorizing Verizon to enhance its network through a right-of-way in Lopatcong Township. You want to talk?
I will. So the town received a proposal from Verizon Wireless to install network nodes in the township, which are boxes that are probably this big, and they go on the telephone poles. So because they're in your right-of-way, correct me if I'm wrong, like this, there's a picture of them in the packet that you got. They're about the width of a telephone pole, and then they're, maybe that big.
Like
They
an
put-
old
they
laptop
fixed them.
computer.
How did they go?
If you look at Beth, do you have what you sent them? If you looked at what Beth sent you, they're at the top
Yeah.
of the pole. And, they're green or brown boxes. And, of course, the picture I got was black and white, so I assume they're green or brown boxes. They don't really stick out. They're kind of,
round, I guess. They're on the pole,
There
is
they
that
are.
what you're saying?
yes. So, these are to enhance, wireless services. Let me give their exact explanation. Small network of nodes is an important initiative of Verizon at this time in the northern portion of the state. Paul Sturbins agrees that the installation of a small network of nodes will help to improve coverage and improve system reliability in and around the Township of Lopatcong. They haven't said exactly where they want to put them. I know Paul said he could have further conversations. For example, he called on behalf of Hackettstown. They said, we think we're going to install 5 of them, but we're not exactly sure where. So we can get that information from you. But basically, they need your consent to do this. But the trick is, you can't really withhold your consent. So under federal law, you have to let them do it. The only thing you can do is put reasonable conditions on their approval. So some of those reasonable conditions are, you can require them to have insurance. You can require them that if when they're installing something, they damage something, they replace it. The sample agreement that they gave you already includes both of those conditions. The other condition that you can have is that you can charge them for the work that Paul and I did to review this. Wasn't a lot of time, but Paul and I both did review it, so can I get a bill from both of us? So you can require them to post an escrow in order to pay for those costs. You can't charge them a fee, you can't charge them a tariff, you can't do any of those things, but you can recoup the little bit of expense that you put forth. So
You can't deny them.
you cannot deny them,
So
no,
why even ask us?
because they have to. They have to. It's kind of like those franchises when they come in. When Comcast wants a franchise, there's not really anything you can do. So, but Paul did say that he believes that, unlike some programs where they're coming through your town, but it doesn't do anything for your town, in this case, this will enhance Verizon wireless service within the township. And he has seen in other towns in Warren County, Sprint has come in and made the same request. So other carriers are coming in and making those requests. But because they are using telephone poles that are not owned by the township, but in the township's right of way, they have to get this consent. But under federal law, you have to give it to them. So Paul recommends that you do this. I recommend that you do it because I don't want you to get sued if you don't do it. So they gave you a proposed resolution. I would recommend that you adopt the proposed resolution, however, conditioned upon them posting a small escrow to cover the expense for Paul and I to review it.
I would like that escrow to cover not only the work that's been done, but I'd like them to have kind of a pre-con with Paul and the police chief. And
Something else I left out
yeah,
is when they go to install them, although we give them a kind of a blanket consent now, when they actually go to install them, when they decide, okay, Strikers Road, we're going to put one, they have to pull a construction permit from the town to do it. And if,
Phone?
and each one. And if they were going to bury something, if they had a ground site thing they needed to do, I don't know that they will, they'd have to get a road opening permit. So just so you know, it's not the end. We will
There's a
know
separate
before
fee- Separate fee for the
Yes,
road opening
yes,
permit,
yes.
right?
and for the construction permit.
I'd
So the
still
town will know before.
I'd like to have kind of a pre-con before
Sure.
they start. Chief has to, he should know where they're working and when. He may have to schedule some folks, particularly on the busy roads. Paul should know where they're gonna be. He should know where, the excavation is, if that happens. So, whatever you've spent, plus a little more for, some pre-con and maybe some construction coordination.
Okay, so I'll take a motion to approve a resolution authorizing Verizon to enhance its network, putting in these new nodes. And as a condition, we will follow the conditions that have already been set forth. We will set up an escrow for professional fees and any permits that we might need. And we will request a pre-con meeting with Verizon, with the chief of police, and any others that should be there, so that we're sure that these things are put up there in the proper fashion. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item, ordinance 1701. First reading to amend, revise, and supplement Chapter 47, known as the Police Department, to eliminate the position of Police Commissioner. I don't know why this is being done, so I'll defer to someone who might know.
Well, because you asked that you be put on there as Director of Public Safety. We don't have one.
We had one for all the years that
Never
the
had
previous
one
mayor
in the
was here.
ordinance, and I told you.
Well, he acted without an ordinance, but we had one.
Can I explain? It's not in the law. It's not in our ordinance. I don't know how you can appoint somebody to something that's not in the ordinance.
Well, I assumed all duties of the previous mayor when I was mayor. And the only way I had to know what duties they were is to look on the website, because that's the main place you look for these kind of things.
You've been critical of past administrations. It's not in the ordinance. So, the only thing that is in the ordinance is police commissioner. That doesn't automatically go to the mayor,
The mayor appoints the police commissioner.
with the advice and consent of council.
Yes.
The duties of the police commissioner are not defined. I don't know why we need one. The chief's duties are defined. He runs the department. I have no idea why we need a police commissioner.
Well,
So I'm gonna recommend this tonight. We just eliminate it. The chief is gonna report to the entire council. And the council is gonna appoint a liaison for the police department.
that just seems like you're trying to circumvent the authority of the mayor, like usual, and that's,
You know what? If you feel that way.
I do feel that way. How would I not feel that way?
Because all you have to
It's fine, I know what you're gonna do.
I ask everybody out there, read that 60-page decision. I think the mayor is the only one up here who hasn't read it.
I may have read it.
We're gonna get into some more, I'm sure you haven't read it. So, in any event, I would make the motion for the first reading to eliminate the position of police commissioner and have the chief report to the entire council. I think it's the one position that everybody should be informed about, and I'd like to have the chief deal with the whole council, and that's my reason.
I have a question. When was the title commissioner ever used?
Never, as far as I know.
Never, so.
Never.
Well, the previous mayor called himself the public safety
What,
officer,
we have a title here,
and that's what he, well,
position of police commissioner. That's totally different. We have a title here, the position of police commissioner. It's never been used, and it's in the ordinance, correct?
yes.
It's never been used.
Well,
I don't see a problem with eliminating something that's never been used.
Well, what happened to, what was the position of public safety officer that was held by Mr. Steinhardt?
You tell me.
I don't
Is it in
know.
the ordinance?
no idea.
Then why are you so concerned about it if it's not?
Well,
in the ordinance?
because-
You don't know what it was. Matter of fact, have you gone back, if you've gone back through the past reorganizations, they never voted on that. So it doesn't matter what was done in the past. We're gonna do things by ordinance going forward, and I've made the motion.
I'll second it.
we have a second? Is there any further discussion?
I'm just going to defer any further discussion. I don't think that you have the authority to do it. And you're going to contend that you do, so we'll just leave it at that. Take a vote, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Toledo?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Miket?
No, it's so. Next item.
Katrina,
Approve a settlement.
in conjunction with that, by motion, I'd like to appoint Bill Wright as liaison to the police commissioner, police department.
It's not been, you haven't eliminated it yet because you haven't had, you don't have the ordinance.
Still have a
But I'm
liaison.
free to appoint a liaison.
No, you're not. Only I can do those kind of things.
No,
No,
I'm the
you
chief
have
executive.
an, you have an ordinance.
I have a chief executive.
No, you are not.
Yes, I am.
We'll go through that.
You don't want to admit it because it's not convenient for you, but that's what it is.
We'll go
Always
through that
was.
shortly, folks.
Yeah.
So, Katrina, can I do that?
Yes, the council has the authority under the ordinance to make liaison positions.
Make the motion to appoint Bill Wright as council liaison to the police department.
Second.
Yeah, I have a question. Will we open to
I would second
discussion?
it first and then do discussion.
Okay, yes, I'll second it.
Now discussion.
Okay. I have a question. So liaison for the police chief, correct? Okay. I have a question here. Has anyone on this board here served as a police officer or in law enforcement ever in their life? Bill?
Yes,
Okay. How many years, Bill?
close to 12.
12 years, okay. So it appears to me right now, the only one that qualifies in law enforcement would be Bill on this board here.
When did
He
you,
understands.
when did you do that, Bill?
When did I do what?
When were you a police officer?
Well, worked at the jail for 2 years back in the early 80s at Washington Borough Police Department till like 87 or, no, correction, 85. Then I was a narcotics officer in Florida. I worked in Juneau Beach for a couple of years. Then I was with the narcotics task force, 6 years.
So that's more than 12.
No, not really. Well, if you count the jail, that's another 2. They consider law enforcement.
So that was in the 80s.
Yep.
So the only one up here that qualifies for any law enforcement would be Bill. He has experience and the knowledge. Any more questions?
Well, the other comment I have is the police commissioner is undefined. The duties show on is undefined. By ordinance, we spell out exactly what the liaison does. And the liaison has no supervisory responsibility. It's communications link, general oversight, and a resource to the department, just like with any other department here. So, that's the reason behind it.
Okay, next item.
Need vote.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Toledo?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Miket?
Abstain. Next item.
Number 3, you should hold because you're going to discuss that again in executive session.
Yes. Approve the Sycamore Landing Affordable Housing Agreement and Deed Restrictions. This was with respect to COA. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Consent agenda. We're now moving into consent agenda. 1, are we going to do the whole consent agenda by itself? By just
Yes.
one vote?
Unless someone has an item they want to pull
Why don't
out.
you all look at the consent agenda, 11 items, and if you wish to have something voted separately, then you should so state it. I would say that number 3 should be a separate item. Because, the auditors were not,
They were approved at the
They
They were
last meeting.
appointed by council in accordance with the court decision.
I can't, well, you can,
We can change that and authorize the council president to execute that contract. You can still pull it off if you want to vote on it.
well, you're gonna make it the council president for that
Yeah.
contract?
You can leave it on or you can take it off.
Well, it's the council president, because I didn't make that appointment.
Pardon me?
I didn't make the appointment,
You didn't make what appointment?
an appointment for auditors.
It was voted on. Check the
Council made
minutes.
the appointment.
Okay, that's a council president, will execute that, correct?
If you're refusing to, then council president under the charter can do it.
I don't think I can, because I didn't, you know,
You
can.
because it was approved.
Even if you had voted no because you disagreed, you still have the authority to sign, because council as a majority has voted to do so. So you're just carrying out their order.
yeah, but I question whether that's a legal thing, and I'm not an attorney, so it's just best that I don't sign it, I think.
So the mayor is refusing to sign it, so council president under the charter would sign it.
Okay, we got any other ones in the 11 there? So we'll take a motion to approve all 11 consent agenda items. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, then would you call the roll call, please?
Yes, Councilman Del Perro,
Yes.
Councilman Polito,
Yes.
Councilman Wright,
Yes.
Council President Fire.
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
Yes. Next item of business, council reports. Let's see. Bill, do you want to?
All right, the only thing I have from Lori for the rec report, she wanted to announce that the pool 50th anniversary committee is looking for volunteers for planning our event for 5/27. We're also going to be issuing RFPs to get official sponsors for the park for improvement and recreation events. Also, announcement that the Easter egg hunt will be on April 8th. It's at 10 a.m. and a rain date of April 15th at 10 a.m. And that's about it.
Okay, Mr. Pryor.
Well, I'm the liaison to the LAA, and for the time being, at least they're still under township's auspices until the agreement is settled. They're up and running. They're getting sponsorships. Their golf outing is back on tap. That I don't have the exact date for that, but it'll be I think in June. They're having a baseball clinic. They're having a clinic with an arena football team. They've got a lot of good stuff going. They had some issues with spring soccer, but they were able to recruit. We approved them tonight, Wim Mersma. Wim is from Holland. He's an expert on soccer. So they recruited him as soccer director. And Kenny Lutz has a lot of good ideas. They got a lot of good people involved. I think they're off to a great start. As administrative liaison, I do wish to bring this up. I got an email from Mayor McKay. He says, at the 217 reorganization meeting, you declared to the public that the mayor was not the chief executive officer. That is incorrect. Ms. Dilts kindly restore this title to the mayor on the website. And then he says, please be guided by the following paragraphs of NJSA 40:69A. This is why I don't think you've read the decision. That's the heart of the whole thing. There's 60 pages devoted to it. You keep referring back to your own interpretation of it,
I refer back to the statute.
and the statute has been adjudicated. So I'm not going to bore everybody. It says, court finds the plaintiff's position is based upon an oversimplified and unsupported legal theory that is also based upon a misreading of applicable law. Plaintiff adopts a hyper-literal interpretation of the statutes that supports his theory that he has the authority as executive mayor to make certain executive decisions without input from the township council and even against their will. Mayor reads the grant of executive power vested by NJSA 4069A to be clear, absolute, and unchecked. And it goes on and on and on. It's got some good stuff here. It says both the council and the mayor govern the township jointly. While there may be certain limited circumstances where a court may be able to pigeonhole a particular act or action as purely executive or purely legislative, in many and perhaps most functions, their respective duties and responsibilities are intertwined and overlapping. I just picked 2 things out of 60. You ought to sit down and read that. It has been adjudicated.
All right, well, I'll just read, since you read, I'll read. Now, I'm going to read what the New Jersey League of
No, wait a
Municipalities
minute, I'm
says.
going to get to that.
I'm
I have the floor.
I'm reading.
I have the floor. Okay, go ahead, read. Think for yourself.
I'm going to make a fool of myself?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Now, this is what the New Jersey League of Municipalities sets forth on their website. This is their position as to what type of government we should have under our small municipality form. And it says this form is available only to municipalities under 12,000 in population. Although a municipality that grows beyond 12,000 may retain the form, small municipality is commonly thought of as a course of the 2 most common traditional forms, the township and the borough. It is also a strong mayor form in that the mayor exercises the executive authority of the municipality. The mayor may in fact be a stronger position in this form than in the mayor-council form, since he or she is not the only chief executive. Is not only the chief executive, but also the presiding officer of the council. The mayor in this form appoints the tax assessor, tax collector, treasurer, clerk, and any officers provided by local ordinance. He or she also appoints all other officers and employees in the municipality unless civil service provisions are in effect. The mayor has the duty of the chief executive and presiding officer of the council and works with the council, but has no veto power. The council is the legislative authority of the municipality. Under this form, the council passes ordinances and resolutions, passes the budget, consents to the appointments of the mayor, and has investigative powers, but it possesses no administrative authority. An interesting provision of the small municipality form allows the municipality to select and match most of the local positions, and is, however, the local form that does not require the hiring of an administrator. As of 2006, 18 municipalities operate under the OMCL small municipality form. Now, this is what, when I talk to the council mayors, this is what they say is our government. So,
Bear with me, the council of mayors reported to support your suit, did they not?
they what?
They refused to support your suit?
No,
No, all right. Where did that, what you just read, where did that come from?
their website.
And when was it originally published?
I don't know. It's still on there, so it's current.
Came from New Jersey Municipalities Magazine in March 2007,
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago. Who wrote it?
The League of Municipalities puts it on the website. I don't ask them
wrote
I don't know who wrote it.
In this magazine article, who wrote it?
It wasn't a magazine article. It's in there.
It was published originally in New Jersey Municipalities Magazine in 2007. Who wrote it?
It is what the Council of the New Jersey League of Municipalities sets forth to the public as the type of,
Is it a legal opinion?
it is no more an legal opinion than what you set forth at the last
Wait a
meeting.
minute, wait a minute. I knew you were going to do it. I knew you were going to do it.
No, I don't think it's a legal opinion. It's just what they say. It's what they
It was
say.
written by Michael F. Serra. He happens to be the Assistant Executive Director of the League. Is he an attorney?
I don't know them, gentlemen.
He's not an attorney. He wrote an article.
And they put it on their
He did a summary
website to tell the world what these governments are like.
Speak?
Yeah, right.
So a non-attorney writes a summary of a statute. There's no case law. It hasn't been adjudicated. It's 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You have a current case here. Several times, Judge Miller says this form of local government has not been held to consist of a strong mayor. I've read his 60-page decision.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his decision is backed up by a number of court cases. He has case law in there, a number of references,
Mm-hmm.
versus a magazine article written by a non-attorney 10 years ago. Now, what do you think we're operating under? A magazine article?
I asked,
Or are we operating under the case, your case,
Mhm.
which has been decided? Tell me.
what, it has been decided, but it is going on its way to the appellate courts.
And what happens while the appeal goes forward?
It is the outstanding decision.
You operate under the decision, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Don't we?
Yes, and I asked that this be posted because this describes the type of government we have. I didn't ask that this be used in any other purpose.
But we post magazine articles on the website?
You post anything you want on the
No,
website.
we don't.
Yeah.
What did, since I've been on here, what did we post, other than the court decision? Let me ask you this. Does the Lake municipality have attorneys?
Yes.
They have a whole host of attorneys, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's
One would think checks what goes on their website, but I don't.
No, they didn't, obviously, they didn't vet that.
Oh, well, they probably.
They put right on their website, our legal department cannot be a replacement for a town's municipal attorney. Rather, we are a resource, sharing knowledge and providing guidance. If an elected official needs legal advice, that question should be directed at their municipal attorney. We do not offer second opinions or alternatives to elected officials. Their municipal attorney should be their primary source of legal advice. Under no circumstances will the League Municipality Legal Service establish a client relationship with individual municipal officials or municipalities. So you're relying on a magazine article. They have a list of associate attorneys. They're listed here. These all provide advice to the League of Municipalities.
Mhm.
If you want to ask one, he's just down the road, Doug Steinhardt. But you want to base your case and your actions on...
I'm not
magazine
basing
article.
my case on anything. I just said I
So-
wanted that description
Anyway,
placed on the website, and you have taken it to some whole new levels.
You will not post CEO, Public Safety Director, or ex officio member of committees on the website because they do not appear in the ordinance. I'm going to make one exception. By our code, you are an ex officio, non-voting member of the Economic Development Advisory Committee. So,
See, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know if that's correct. I don't think it is. I think I'm ex officio on everything.
I read it.
I will look into that to the extent I can. All by myself without legal representation up here.
I'll second that.
Vote, Beth, please.
Yes. Councilman Del Ferro.
Yes.
Councilman Polito.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Council President Breyer.
Yes,
Abstain.
that's my report.
Okay, that's your report. Engineer?
Yes, we only have one item to report. Our office submitted the NGDOT grant application for Baltimore Street on January 18th in the amount of $150,000.
Excuse me. Can't hear.
Sorry. Can I repeat that?
Please, I didn't hear you.
Okay, sorry. Yes, our office submitted the NJDOT grant application for Baltimore Street on January 18th in the amount of $150,000. That's all I have.
You probably don't know the answer to this, but else you wouldn't have said that's all I have.
That's all.
That's all, we didn't get any update on this to reduce speed zone from the county around the school, did we?
Not to my knowledge. Paul didn't.
Actually, there was a letter that came in I think it was addressed, it was from the county, noting that they can't contemplate that project yet because they're still waiting for Phillipsburg to send in their signed original sidewalk agreement, so it could be recorded at the county. I'll send that letter to all of you tomorrow.
I'm curious, I don't know what that would have to do with the speed limit, but
I don't know.
we can look at it.
Next thing is the report of the chief.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I didn't, oh,
Council, yeah, finish, council. Forgot about us, Mayor, already?
What?
Forgot about us.
no, I wouldn't forget. I'll let you choose which one goes first.
All right. DPW, they just picked up their last Christmas tree a couple of days ago. So if anyone has any left, they're not gonna pick it up. They're also going around, trimming or, totally cutting the dead trees down that's, deemed to be hazardous. So, that's what they're doing right now. Also repairing the vehicles in-house. Obviously there isn't that much snow for them to stay busy. So we're saving some money on some salt, right? And some overtime, which is good. Anyhow, I have a report on the sewer, and this is from Dan Natting. The Route 57 pump station, the loan was closed, I think last week, Beth? Okay. For $2,150,000 with the USDA. There's $850,000 in grant money that we'll be getting to invest in our system, sewer system throughout the town. Now, we have identified a number of projects to improve the system and are finishing those designs currently. The larger projects include the replacement of a Stonehenge force main and the improvements to the Stonehenge pump station. They're going to replace, part of the plan is to replace from the Stonehenge pump station all the way and cross Red School Lane and up the hill that way. It's probably about a half mile long. That'll be part of the project. It's about 40 years old, so it's a good thing to change out and put probably a larger diameter for the future. And also, any problems that might happen due to the age. Additionally, also they're looking to put a channel monster grinder at the pump station inlet to help with the rag issues, because we still have a rag issue down there. And I don't know why. It's still a problem down there. However, the current thing is still working. It's doing its job, but who knows for how long. So part of this is going to put a bigger, heavy-duty one and retrofit that in there. And there's also other works to repair some sewers along Route 22. Now we have an odor problem on Baltimore Street and 5th Street. And you probably notice it more often when it's warmer out. However, that's going to be addressed as well. We'll put some kind of deodorants in there to mask the odor. And also they're looking to deal with a company for long term to treat the sewer smell, which USDA money would be used to fund that, because this is not something that's going to go away, unfortunately. The smoke testing that was completed, 51,863 linear feet in Brakely Park and Morris Heights. There were several minor defects were found, but nothing significant to show any source of inflow or infiltration, which the NJDP pointed to previous inspection. So there's a good report on that end. And then finally, the CCTV inspection, which is closed circuit TV inspection of 3,780 linear feet of sewer lines located in the easement between Baltimore Street and Stonehenge Drive. The contractor is having difficulty in accessing some of the areas. So they're working to find access to these hard-to-reach areas. And since water is used for cleaning prior to inspections, we're going to hold up until it's a little bit warmer right now. And this is also part of, to address the issues brought up during the last NJDEP inspections. That's it. That's the end of the report. So you guys are up to date. But $850,000 is a good shot in the arm for us. Take us some projects. You can go.
Thank you. I just have one item with EDAC, the Economic Development Advisory Committee. We are looking for members. Several of the members' terms expired in December, so they will need to be reappointed. And we also have some additional vacancies. If anybody is interested, to please let me know. That's it.
How many volunteers do you need?
Several.
The UDAC has never done anything. I question whether we need it. I mean, they're supposed to do a report every year to the mayor and the council about what to do and how to attract business to the community, but never did it. And
We did the business card.
They did the shop.
they did the shop LopatCong part, and that's the only thing I know of. I never saw a report. If you have them, I'd appreciate seeing them.
Mayor, you're the
I think
exhibition
Maureen
member.
gave her
What?
report.
It doesn't meet, so how can I go to it?
Well, if you need one lecture, because I'm
I
several
said the
meetings.
mayor's the exhibition member.
Some of the other boards haven't done their reports, so they're required to.
It's a committee, it's not a board. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, now the report of the chief. For a minute, I thought you had memorized it, because you didn't have it yet.
It's not memorized yet, no, sir. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My January 17 summary report. The police department saw 908 logged incidents and activities. Crimes and offenses occurred during this time period were 10 reports of theft, 12 reports of harassment, disorderly conduct, 2 reports of disputes or civil matters, 8 domestic violence reports, 5 criminal mischief reports, 4 reports of assault, 2 burglary reports, and 10 criminal or other arrests. Our traffic violations, there's a total of 27 moving violations issued and 37 non-moving violations, while we investigated 20 reports of motor vehicle accidents with 6 injuries. And
Chief, I have 2 questions. In your statistics, do you see any trends yet or anything evident?
one thing I can tell you for sure is that, most of our accidents occur out on Route 22, and I think, it's pretty evident that's our most
Is
congested
there a certain
area
part
of
of
town.
22?
And again, we see quite a few accidents on the curbs at the Route 57 split there,
Yeah.
in overpasses, both directions, eastbound and westbound. I think,
How about where 22 merges westbound with 57? People try and get to the right. Is there anything there that you see? Or?
we, from time to time, we do have accidents there, but I would limit it to more so the curbs. I think that is a problem. I think maybe signage might be able to address some of that concern without actually tearing up the roadway and reorganizing it somehow.
Maybe sit down with Paul and we can communicate with DOT, see if we can do something about that.
I will reach out to Paul about that.
Chief, I have a question. I don't know if maybe you can do it, but just update us, maybe quarterly or maybe at the end of the year report to see what the trend is as far as, violent crime, thefts, stuff of that nature, crime. If it's an increase or decrease over the past 2 years.
Just off the top of my head, I can tell you that violent crime in Lopatcong is almost unfounded in the township.
That's good.
But I can give you, trends of what we're looking at from beginning to the end of the year.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Any other department reports? Okay, bills. I don't have the bills list.
We have a motion to approve department reports.
Oh, yeah, motion to approve department reports. We didn't have any department reports, but we have a motion to approve.
So we've had department reports, we just need a motion and a second to approve them.
Well, that would be council reports, right?
Council, the chief of police.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
and everybody else.
So, yeah, we need to do those, to approve those.
We have a motion,
Motion.
second.
All in favor?
No, someone needs to say.
Oh, we need to do a roll call on this? Roll call.
No, you just called for a vote before in a second, but I think I heard Joe.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Payment of bills. I don't have a bills list in my pack.
Okay.
I guess I think it was done when I got this.
I had, emailed it to you, but it is on page 4. So,
Beth, I'm gonna one last time recuse myself from JMT. I have severed my relationship with them, but I don't know what dribbles over into this bill. And just to verify, the mayor's legal bills are not on this list, correct? Okay.
The mail's legitimate legal bills.
What did the court say? What did the court say? I'm not gonna get an answer.
I'm trying to read this. Okay. The aggregate of the bills is $2,878,221.97. Motion to approve the bill list.
We'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Belkara?
Yes.
Councilman Toledo?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Fire?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, motion to open the floor to audience participation. Do I have one?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yes, sir?
John Betts again. I just have asking for some clarification about the settlement agreement with Larkin regarding the affordable housing. Is there any explanation anybody can give, or is there any place I can find that settlement agreement?
No, it hasn't been finalized.
It hasn't been finalized.
It's still in contractual, that's
Okay.
what we're discussing.
Okay,
But you can find Larkin did file as an intervener in the
Yes.
town's declaratory judgment action regarding affordable housing.
Okay.
And so those are all public documents. So you
Okay.
can find that they joined the lawsuit against the town.
All right. Let's see that. Okay. And then the other thing is about the Verizon nodes. Does anybody, the engineer, anybody, are those nodes going to affect landline telephones in homes? Is it like, are they going to eventually, do you know if they're going to be eventually an intermediary between these nodes and access to landlines?
I don't think they have anything to do with the landlines.
Okay.
They have to do an analysis of where, they need additional coverage.
Yes.
Where they place them, because it's going to be specific to the wireless service.
Okay. So the other thing is when this wireless service goes in, do you know if they're going to make some sort of wireless access through the wireless system from modems, home modems and servers?
This is from Verizon Wireless.
Yes.
So whatever services Verizon Wireless
I'll have to
offers,
call
they
them.
just said cell service, but I'm sure Paul can ask. But
Okay.
I would assume just cellular.
Yeah, I've been reading something about them trying to go totally wireless. And
Most carriers offer that, where you can get a home phone line that you can
Yes.
plug your home phone into it, and
Yes.
connects to the wireless network. And
yes,
similar things for home internet access as well. But
Yes.
you can contact Verizon.
but that's through the line coming into the home, or
Wireless.
just wireless?
Wireless.
Okay. Okay.
That's like having a phone in your hand. and a
That's
phone on your TV.
just that's what I was asking. Okay. Thank you, engineer. Thank you.
Sir?
Olszewski Highlands Way. In regards to Joe, I'm always impressed how prepared you are. I wish you would have been here a long time ago, because if I understand everything properly, what Tom is referring to is something which was handled like Tom wants it for the last 15, 20 years. And I'm surprised that we have people like Katrina sit there or Lou sit there for the last, I don't know how many years, and have not noticed, has gone unnoticed what you have uncovered within the last 2 years. I'm very impressed. So but what you're asking Tom to do is to go to Katrina and trust her and ask a question for something she has not figured out for the last 10 years.
Am I supposed to search the website and look at every document on the website and count out and
No,
let them know
if we have positions which are not relevant, or if there
It's only
is,
on the website.
No one ever nominated anyone as police commissioner, so it didn't make sense to me.
no, it's not just the police commissioner thing, it's a lot of other things. I mean, Doug Steiner always handled, you guys made the laws, Doug Steiner handled the administrative tasks. Has always been like that. And that has gone unnoticed for the last 15 years, right under your nose. Is surprising, right under your nose, surprising. I understand what Tom is referring to is nothing different than what has been the standard here for the last 15 years. And if that is wrong, please correct me. Thank you.
You don't know what went on, and neither does Tom. Okay.
Okay, are there any other people who wish to speak? No? Okay. So, I think we have to go make a motion to go back into executive. So I'll take a motion to do
I'll
that.
make that motion.
And second, all in favor? All right, we're going back into executive, folks, so.
For the record, the only discussion will be discussion about the Larkin settlement agreement regarding affordable housing. We expect it to take no more than 30 minutes, and action is expected to be taken when we come back. So you're welcome to wait in the hall.
Can I wait and get an answer to the other question I had?
I don't know if we can answer your question, but
Okay.
we're going to take action. I'm recommending they take action